Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of Elks Central, breaking this one down.
Reagan, touchdown Edmonton! Fajardo, Dunbar, back on top go the Elks!
Okay, welcome in Elks Central. Oh, I almost said April 15th, May 15th. Friday, bit of a... Pardon?
Thank goodness not April.
No kidding. Hey,
I'll take this weather in April.
April showers bring May flowers. What up? Bit of a different episode today. No player interview, of course, because everyone's down at camp, players, coaches, that's in full swing. And this is going to be a full camp review so far. I've been very fortunate to be down for the last few days there, talk to some guys, talk to the head coach. It's been a great atmosphere. It's been very, very intense. I want to kind of go position group by position group, break that all down, talk some of the kind of the vibe of training camp, things like that. Obviously, no better person on planet Earth to give input than Eddie. So that's a big feather in our cap here. But before we get to all of that, long weekend on the horizon. How we feeling?
Deck, man, feeling really good. But to be honest, bro, and I've been hyping you up all week to people, you're down there, you're grinding. So yeah, I have some knowledge. I played the game and I understand what camp is about and just how practices go. But brother, you're there seeing it. So respect to the grinders that are out there. And there probably ain't many of you media guys there.
Yeah, they're calling me the kinder Mark Spector of the Edmonton Elks. That's what people are starting to say. That's what they're starting to float, like the softball version.
That's not
maybe.
a bad thing.
No, hey, I actually, by the way, like I love Spec. I know Spec is kind of divisive. I know some people don't like Spec. I don't love that he doesn't follow me on Twitter. I remember one time actually, I was sitting in to host Jason's show. I don't know how that came to be, but anyway, I was sitting in to host Jason's show and Spec was the guest. And I said to him, I was like, hey, by the way, like as the exit part of the interview, I said, hey, by the way, follow me on Twitter. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. Still doesn't. Texted him.
Just played you off.
Talked to him on the phone multiple times. I've texted with him multiple times. I texted him a question about my fake heart ballet. We had a conversation about that. So like he knows who I am. Just still doesn't follow me. But my point was, I actually really like Spec. Like I know Spec is kind of divisive. I like Spec. Like I'll defend Spec to my friends because I have one friend who's not the biggest Spec fan in the world, and I like Spec. If you listen to this, I stand 10 toes down for you, man. I defend you. So
There's different versions. There's different versions of them though. If you sit down and talk to him one-on-one as like human to human, good dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just going off on like just his writing or even just a verbal whatever the hell with a microphone in front of him, a little bit different.
So with the writing, what I love about Spec is sure he can say things maybe that can be written in a way that fans don't like to hear it. But the one thing about Spec is he is not afraid to call out the stars, and that's needed. Players need to be called out.
Absolutely.
I actually used to get into it with Spec probably about 2020 to 2021 on Twitter. We had a couple of exchanges like back and forth because he would say stuff I didn't agree with. Oh. And we would, have some exchanges to see if I could get a lot of likes against him. But then having done the media now for 3 years at Sports 1440, been a part of his golf tournaments. I talk to him every Monday, Friday. It's totally different.
When you get to talk to him, you get to know him as a human being is way different.
Yeah, and I've even some of the DMs I've been like, I've said like, look, I know we've had our back and forth in the past, but man, I respect the hell out of what you do. And he gets bashed by a lot of people, but the funny thing about social media is, especially Twitter, that's the main one where he'd be at. And I asked him this a couple of weeks ago. I said, do you get a lot of hate in real life the way you do online? He laughs. He said, not even close. Yeah. He said maybe 1 out of 10 will say something that's like, oh, I didn't like that. The rest, people you see in society,
they say it nicely that they don't agree with them. Whereas Twitter or anything online or whatever, it's faceless. It's not real. Staring at a screen and you just throw it. It's like when you're driving, right? Like when the windows are up and you say some weird shit in your car, windows are down, and you're walking beside somebody, you ain't saying that
and he
shit.
Gets stopped a lot. He said he gets approached a lot.
And for sure.
Honestly, in the 90s percentile, it's positive.
100%.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't about it. Like a lot of people are like, they're so...
But that's just society and Twitter and social media bullshit.
That's what it comes. It ain't about coming from a boxer. He's throwing hands. It's like, so you know what being about it is.
I'm telling you,
that gets me kind of hyped actually because it's real, Deck. They're not about it.
A lot of fakers out there. All right, you guys want to get into this? Break down some of these position battles.
Yep.
All right, let's start with the quarterback. So, I had a friend text me on Monday because I didn't go down Monday. I went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I got to see Pavs Tuesday and Thursday. I had a friend text me on. You know what? I'll read the exact text he sent me. I sent it over to you guys. Mm-hmm. And this is what he had texted me on Monday.
He said, in the media.
Yes, in the media.
And it was day one. Day one.
Day two,
one.
yeah.
Day two of
Let's hear the text
yeah,
and then
yeah.
let's follow up.
So he said Taylor Powell might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen. He was truly horrible today. The entire offense looked bad. And you guys know me, I haven't been as in love with the Taylor Powell signing as some have been. I didn't think he really popped. The season he started at Hamilton, I don't think he's really popped at any level. So I went in kind of like, oh, okay, what do we have to look forward to here? He's been fine. Yesterday was probably his worst day. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because of the conditions. It's obviously a little bit tougher to throw the ball in that wet kind of slimy weather, but he looked fine. Like that text was, and again, I wasn't down there on Monday, so who knows, but that text was an overstatement.
Mm-hmm.
He's looked fine.
And what Rick said is everything. That's day one of camp. Offense always, it's not even up for debate, always is slower. Oh, day two, sorry. Yeah, day one would have been Sunday. Always is slower. Defense, it's see ball, get ball. You have a few schematics in, and the rest is you're flying around trying to get that thing. Offense, it's way different. The timing, the precision. You're trying to get the depth right with your receivers and the quarterback. The waggle guys are trying to learn that. It's completely different, and defense always has the upper hand in camp early, usually the first week. So that'll even itself out, and I'm sure it did, like you saw this week.
Absolutely.
Offense has to be more precise, whereas defense, you can just like fall back into the way you've been taught to play defense over.
And hustle. Defense, really, the way you're going to get called out in training camp, it's not even about execution because you'll make mental errors. It's about, are you hustling to that pill, man? Yeah. That's what it comes down to. That's how you make a team.
The quarterbacks, like that Tuesday, they all kind of look the same. Like I did a hit with Connor and Brandon on Fantasy Frenzy, and I said, like, if I sent you blurred out videos of all the quarterbacks, you wouldn't be able to tell who Cody is, Taylor is, Cole is. Like they all just kind of look the same. As the week went on, Cody definitely did look the best. Yeah, he definitely did look like QB1. He was obviously taking all the first team reps. Taylor Powell taking most of the second team reps. Cole Snyder rotating in there as well a little bit.
As we're on the quarterback, can I just ask you, with the backups, Cole, Powell, Zabrowski, how have they looked in their competition amongst themselves? We know Cody's the ace.
Yeah, so I would say like there's almost like a push from the coaching staff to give Taylor Powell.
There is that.
Yeah.
They're open about that.
Yeah, that second string spot. They've all looked like they've all had some weaknesses and they've all had some positives to their game, I think. Like one thing I've noticed with Cole a little bit is he's holding on to the ball a little bit too long. Like I know you can't touch the quarterback in camp. Like you feel like you have a little bit of extra time, but he's almost taking an extra second to try and just make a big play in training camp that like you're not going to have that extra second in the game. Taylor, one thing with him, if I was talking about a detractor, touch just a little off like yesterday specifically, but again, conditions. Zach,
touch off, is he just missing guys?
He's just he's just missing guys a little bit with the throws, but that was really only yesterday. Like he looked fine. Like and all the guys looked the same on Tuesday. Wednesday wasn't pads. Yesterday just a touch off. Zach, not a bad like someone's just got to be the fourth string quarterback. You know what I mean? Like
time,
right. And so it's not a knock on Zach Zabrowski at all, but it's just
how big is Zach? Does he have size? Does he have the size?
Good question.
I don't need the exact metrics, but do the backups? Is Powell the biggest? I'd say.
I think Cole might be the biggest.
Cole's bigger than Powell.
I don't know actually. Now that you've said that, I'm completely blanking on.
You're good.
Maybe Rick. If you wanted to grab their measurements, that would help.
As fast as I can here.
I'm feeling like I'm trying to think back, like watching it. I think Cole is the biggest.
Okay.
Yeah, but again,
where are we here? 6'2", Zach 6'2", Cole 6'2", Powell 6'1", Aloha 6'3" if he's still in it right now, and Cody 6'1".
Yeah, Aloha, by the way, fully transitioning to wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have him labeled as a QB here, so yeah, he's 6'3", 213.
He's the biggest.
Everybody's essentially the same size.
Not a huge QB room.
No, not a big QB room. Not a big QB room at all. But like I thought Cody's looked good. He looks a little bit more comfortable. Like he's not taking 50-yard shots down the field, which isn't really his game anyway. He's had a good connection with Austin Mack. Like you can tell that's his guy. You can tell.
Repertoire.
I was a little surprised. I thought he might have had a little bit more of a connection just here in camp with Keon. Haven't seen that as much. Like I'm not going to say he's forcing it to Austin Mack because that's not it. But like
it's a security blanket.
Yeah, and you know how when you go through, generally you progress from your first read to your second read real quick if it's not there. I even still find him staying on that first read to give Austin Mack that extra second so he can kind of get him the ball. That's something that's kind of
on brand what we've seen just from Cody in his history based off what we know.
But to his credit, like Austin Mack's been making plays. He's been looking really good. He's been looking like the best wide receiver, and we'll get to the wide receivers in a second. There's a lot of them.
Questions about them.
Yeah. Anything else on the quarterback? I don't think so. It's been pretty. They've all looked pretty good in the Indies. Looks pretty look good in the Skelly Joes.
So that's another thing I wanted to ask you, mini Mark. I mean, okay, that'll be my last spec.
No, hey, keep them rolling. Keep them rolling. It's I wear it as a badge of honor.
I thought I'd get a little chuckle. Rick didn't even last. That's how I knew it was. Okay.
I was too. Oh, dude,
yeah, you're just trying to breathe right now, boy.
Yeah. Dude, dude's been fighting this for a month now.
You need to double up or something.
Sometimes I try to drop a joke on here and I get nothing back from you guys, and I'm just like. So anyway,
it's good to laugh at yourself.
Have to jump back into it. What were you gonna ask though?
You're watching everything with the different positional groups. You're watching the quarterbacks, Indy, and then team periods, 7-on-7 or Skelly, I should say. You're watching all the different periods, so you're seeing them in Indy too. That's awesome, man. You got some good intel then.
Yeah.
You're watching a lot of throws. You're seeing how these guys are operating. How about timing? Cody clearly has like the most control of the offense.
On Tuesday he threw. He definitely does. On Tuesday he had just in terms of timing of one of on one of his balls, he threw like the worst underthrow I've ever seen. That Kenny Logan picked it, kind of took it back down the sidelines, got drilled by Coulter. Coulter
he hit him.
Yeah, drilled him, kind of laid on.
Did Coulter leave his feet?
I don't think he left his feet. No, he didn't leave his feet, but
there's a size difference between
those
two guys too.
Yeah,
he ended up on him. Nick Anderson, I think it was Nick Anderson. He came in, he was shoving Coulter,
there's a fight.
A little bit of a mini scuffle.
For sure.
And then there was one later on, I forget who it was with. But Coulter got great push on a guy, got him downfield a little bit. There was some slapping, some pushing as well, pushing, shoving.
Coulter's
like
a dog.
Yeah, so Coulter's getting into it like that.
If you're an offensive lineman on an interception in practice, willing to lay your teammate out, you got some nasty to you.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh, man, that's wild. Yeah, Coulter. I saw him at this one event while you do your thing. And very nice guy, but it's so funny how we have this alter ego because he didn't seem like that type of dog to me, right? But neither does a guy like David Beard. But
put the helmet on.
Yeah, it's different, man. I guess I wouldn't seem like that probably.
Put the helmet on, put the pads on. Things are different.
We'll get to David Beard in a sec here as well. I think that probably wraps it up for the quarterbacks. Listen, we know Cody was gonna Cody would have had to have done. He would have had to borderline break his leg to not be QB1, I imagine, coming out of camp. And I know there is kind of a push for Taylor Powell. I don't know. I think he'll be the backup. I think he'll be the second string quarterback, but we'll have to kind of wait and see how that all works out. Running backs, Isaiah Knight, he's getting some good third team looks. He's good.
It's ranking leak.
Yeah, it's ranking leak. I will say the other thing is the difference in how some people approach camp, Justin Rankin and Terrell Ford stick out specifically. We kind of talked about this last week or on Monday. Some rookies will be so tight, they're just they're so nervous, they're thinking about everything, they're giving it 100% intensity because they're trying to crack a roster. Then you got a guy like Justin Rankin who's kind of just dancing around, bouncing around. Yeah,
but he's intense too. Does he have that intensity, or has he shown it? Because we know he's one of the most. He's a tone setter. Is that just a regular season thing? Yeah, I would say joyous would be the word I would use. You watch him go through the ladder and it's just kind of going through the bigger one for that is Terrell Ford is I don't know if he's hit more than 15% effort all training camp, which is I think you're the best field corner in the CFL and you're the highest paid DB in the league. We know who you are, but it is just kind of funny to see even in indies and stuff, he'll just yeah. You know what I mean? In the Where do you land on that, man? I don't know. It's cool to be nonchalant, but are you working at your craft? Is he getting better?
I think
there's something to be a professional too.
No, I hear everything you're saying. And I think that kind of would be a general train of thought. My thing is I just think he's so polished.
What kind of practicing were they doing? And because sometimes he can just be that
good. If it's in Indy, okay, you can get, but still.
What do you mean Indy?
Individual period. So typically you go from your stretch, then you'll go individual. So all the defensive line will be together. Then from that, you'll break off into an inside run period. or one-on-ones.
So your backs are all together, and they're just
they're all together going through bag drills, and so Terrell Ford would be with all the DBs doing through footwork, backpedal drills, things like that.
So that's where it looks like he's just kind of
just coasting. But the thing is, like, that's cool to coast, but I don't know, maybe I'm old school, man. Like, you got to work at your craft every day to be the best you can be. Like, it's not cheesy to have that mentality.
How old is he?
27.
Yeah. The one thing,
be like head down, like, you can have fun, but this shit's serious now.
Oh, for sure.
As a veteran, would you ramp it up? Like the first couple, you're kind of keeping it, a 4, 5, 6, 7. You got to go.
I was, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm just thinking when it was like in between the lines. Sure, you're joking when you're at the back of the line and it's not your turn, but when you're up, man, everything's on tape. Yeah. Like everything is on film. Even when you're at the back of the line, they have the whole field is on camera, so they see when you're not taking it serious. They see when you're not working, and I always. Just personally, every rep mattered. Even if I was going over a bag, I wanted to be low. I wanted to have good technique. I wanted to look like an athlete.
Yeah,
like all the time. So,
yeah, I hear where you come from. I don't want to dog him too hard.
No, I'm not dogging him. I'm not dogging him.
I do think, like, again, I kind of go back to this to just defend him a little bit. Like, I do think he is, like, he's perfected his craft over his entire CFL tenure.
Yeah.
When you're that good, you can just be smooth and make it look like you're not trying.
Yeah. I'm not dogging him at all.
No, it's one of those things
I know the exact character. I know how this is, man. I've played with guys like him.
Yeah. Who's someone who jumps to mind?
Oh, even guys like a Javon Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, you remember him?
Oh, for sure. Winnipeg.
When I played with him in Sask when he was a 13-year vet. Like, this stuff was serious, man. Like, there's a time and a place to joke, and I think the athlete has changed a little bit. I think, they're not all like Terrell, but I think the athlete mentality has changed slightly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's more than slightly, but yes.
Yeah, and it's just not football. You see it in most sports, like just what they care about. Things athletics are just different
now.
Yeah,
it's more of an athletics, not football.
The youth are different, and this is not us being old men. It's just the youth it's a different mentality. It's kind of what it is. You probably see it too, Deck. You're a generation behind, but you probably see it with people.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Do we want to jump to wide receivers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So some of the wide, like I said, Austin Mack, he's kind of emerged as the preeminent target, favorite target of Cody, had a good connection, seems to be hanging on to him for maybe an extra second to try. I'm not going to say force it to him, but just to get it to him. But he's also, he's looked the best. Like, he has looked like a guy who came over as a huge free agent signing and as a guy who had, what was it, like that 1,300-yard season with that incredible Grey Cup with Cody. Keon, he's looked, fine. Connection hasn't been there maybe to the level I thought it had. Joe Robustelli, I guess he's kind of maybe looked like what you would expect his role to be. Like, and I mean, when I say that, I mean, if I told you he is going to be fourth on this team in receiving yards, but he's going to have some big catches and he's going to, help out the offense in some tough situations, you'd probably be like,
pick up some first downs. Second and
you'd
long.
Probably be like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, I feel like that's kind of a good description of him, if that makes sense. Like, I'm talking about it kind of in a bit of a roundabout way. Carter Kettle, I was a little hard on Carter for his size. I didn't think his size was quite pro ready. I thought he needed to put on a little bit, but he looks in place there. And he's a guy who's always working, as he should be, but he's a guy, like, I've always appreciated his route running. Thought he had good hands. He's been getting out of breaks really, really well. Snappy hands. One thing I always love is when the receivers, just because I think it looks so hard, is last second throw the hands up right as the ball's there. He does that a lot. He has that tendency, which I think is cool,
because you're not selling yourself out.
Yeah,
you're not giving up the booty to a DB.
Yeah, getting a lot of second team reps as is kind of expected. Zach Mathis, big target out there. Probably haven't maybe worked him in the way his size might. So
that's who I was curious about. Zach, Ben Victor.
Yeah, so Ben Victor, he's been getting the first team reps as the opposite side wide out. It was kind of going to be a competition between him and OJ Hilaire, but Ben's been getting them. Him and OJ both Ben's he's just got more. He's got more first team reps, so it's a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit easier to kind of say, hey, he's been popping. They've both been playing very well. He's a big target out there. Again, like I've always kind of been in favor of just sending him on 9 routes and letting him go like high point to ball. They haven't really done that, but he's also someone I mentioned it a lot last year. Like he was a guy who you would see flashes of flash when he got the ball, like when he was going for yak yards and stuff. And you can still see that when he gets the ball, you can tell he's got a lot of kind of pop to him, he's got some moves, like he's got a bit of a bag that he's ready to unleash. It probably would have worked, like it would work better if he's working out of the slot and he does like a sluggo or something, or like a sluggo is actually a bad example of a route, but I don't know, just like a 5 and in. Maybe a little less conducive to that, playing as a true wide out there, but he's looked good. OJ's looked good. Now this is funny because TJ Luther and Justin McGriff, their numbers 88 and 89, but they both wear their jerseys rolled up, so I can't actually tell who is who. I think one of them I really like. I'm pretty sure it's Justin McGriff at 89. Okay. I've really liked what I've seen from him. He uses his body really well. He's got good hands. One thing I like about him is he attacks everything as well. Like he really, like he goes after it. Like he gets to like getting out of breaks. You know what I mean? And again, there is a chance. I just want to say this again. There's a chance I'm talking. This is TJ Luther. I'm pretty sure it's Justin, because not only do they have the front and back jersey rolled up, they got the shoulders rolled in too.
So they just look the same.
Yeah.
Face mask the same.
Face mask the same. The size is a little bit different, but I guess I could have, like, it's not,
break it down to like wristbands or something now.
That's how you're gonna have to try and differentiate.
Dude, you know what it's gonna come to? I'm gonna have to go to Coach Killen and be like, hey, hand up, not a ball knower. Which one's Justin? Which one's TJ?
Just give him a sticker. Hey, mind putting this on someone's back or someone's shoulder where we can see it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Justin though, and I've really liked the way he's kind of attacked everything. Jalen Calhoun, he had a good last game of the season. He's another guy, like, you want to talk about a dog who's just working. Like, you want to talk about the guy who, like, whatever the opposite of taking indies off, the opposite of taking it slow and skellies, and staying after practice, like going through routes, like working one-on-ones with KJ out of the pad, stuff like that. He's been a guy I've really liked to watch because I really liked. This is another thing, by the way. So he's listed at 5'11", like 5'8", and I don't know what his weight is, but
generous, huh?
Yeah, like he's probably like 5'8", 1, maybe 80. Like he's small, and big. He does work out of the slot, but I don't know what. Maybe I was just dogging him for no reason. I don't know what the point of that was. I really like what I've seen. I just think it's crazy that these guys get listed because he's listed at 5'11", and I'm talking to him after. He's in cleats and he's like 2 inches shorter than me, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So it's just something I kind of always take note of. That's like I'm kind of ripping on him for no reason. I've really, really liked what I've seen from him. Like he's like Justin attacks everything. Like he's almost Justin almost attacks everything. Like he's thinking about getting the ball and truck sticking you. Jalen kind of attacks everything in the way he's like, I'm gonna, put you on tape. I'm gonna get your hips moving the wrong way, and I'm gonna burn you. So kind of a different, kind of a different mindset there. But really liked what I've seen from him. Brendan O'Leary-Orange as well. He was a free agent signing. He's looked really good. He's looked really, really sharp.
Body, right?
Yeah, really great size. Like he's not as big as Zach Mathis, but he almost feels bigger. Like he almost feels he's
6'4", 205.
Yeah,
6'7", 203.
Yeah. So he's 6'4", and he's what did you say the weights were?
203 for Mathis and 205.
Interesting. And he feels bigger than that. And he's like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't carry as much weight in his legs because he feels like he has a thicker kind of torso, upper body. He also, like, he's got long arms. Like he feels like you can kind of put the ball anywhere in his like catch radius. Yeah. So I've really liked what I've seen from him. A couple other ones. Ife Adai, I'm sure he's not going to have much of a path to consistent reps throughout the season, but I've liked him as well. Like he's a guy who he's just a guy who's like, you can tell he cares when he does everything. Like he tries to do everything well. He tries to kind of do everything precisely. Obviously, listen, when you're one of like the, third team wide receivers, you're not, and
what you can get.
Yeah,
and the smallest wide receiver.
Pardon?
And the smallest wide receiver.
What are his dimensions?
5'10", 175.
Generous. So
and you got Calhoun.
5'8", 150.
Yeah, I mean, Calhoun's listed here is 5'11", 191. So
yeah. And if he does have that kind of like that zip to him. Like, you know what I mean? Where he's like, just because we were talking about him recently, obviously they played two entirely different positions, but like Charles Roberts, where it's just like he's like kind of zippy and like kind of squirrely. But yeah, I liked what I've seen from him. Other than that, yeah, we talked about it. Aloha Letondrese Regenbald. He was drafted 7th round as a quarterback wide receiver, fully working as a wide receiver, going to be on teams according to Coach Killam.
How does he look at receiver? Does he look like he's misplaced? Or does he
he's like
right
he's very athletic. He's very athletic. I wouldn't say he looks like he fits right in. Like I wouldn't. I'm not sure we have 1,000. I'm not sure we have 1,000-yard receiver on our hands, but you know, like being a 1,000-yard receiver is also pretty tough to do. So not a knock on him or anything.
What you can do though.
Yeah,
what you can do.
I'm trying to think who else. Keyshawn Johnson. He's looked pretty good for the role he's been in. Julian Hicks, same. Like there's like second, third teamers, like just kind of getting the reps they can.
Guys who are just trying to make practice roster.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that about wraps it up for the wide receivers. I don't think there's too much else to add. I'm just going back down through the roster and my notes here to see if there's anything I missed. But I think that about sums it up.
Sounds right.
Offensive line. So I tweeted out the alignment, and it was Brendan Bordner at left tackle. I think was it Coulter at? Let me actually pull up my tweet here. Was it Coulter at left guard? Do you guys remember my tweet?
Carter was right guard, I believe.
That's what I thought.
Unless he's changed, because that's what Carter played and finished at last year.
Now, see, I think actually they did have Carter at left guard and Coulter at right guard, which wouldn't make a lot of sense, but I thought that's what it was.
We had Greg's on this morning on 1440, and he did mention something of O'Donnell and left guard, and I thought he just made a mistake, but maybe that's true.
Yeah, he is left guard. See, okay, I knew it. Yeah, so so Bordner was working in a left tackle, Carter O'Donnell working in left guard, David Beard working in at center, Coulter Woodmansey at right guard, Jordan Murray at right tackle. That'll be your line for sure. There are some guys. I want to give a shout out to Matthew Luden, because he was the 7th round. He was the last pick of the draft for the Elks. And we kind of brushed him off a little bit. Like we talked about his size, 6 feet, 290. Like camp body. He's out there just working. Like he's out there putting in the work. Like he's not going to win any starting center jobs.
But he's the club, you think? P squad?
Yeah. Practice squad player, I think. Cool. Yeah. He's out there working, and he's good with his hands. Feet aren't quite under him the way
he's super small, very undersized.
He doesn't look as undersized as you might expect. He plays normally when you're like a shorter guy, you have to play with leverage. Yeah. Like you have to get up under them, get your hands on the pads. He plays a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if like that's the best path for what he did, but he plays a little bit bigger. He plays a little mean, plays with some strength. Wanted to give him a shout out. Those 5 are going to be your line. Brett Boyko as well. We torched Brett Boyko a little bit last season. We torched him and Gregor both. For a guy who's firmly working in on the second team with that offensive line, like he's looked good. He's looked
because he's going to be a 6th or 7th. So
yeah, he's going to be the set. He's going to be the 6th defensive line or offensive line.
Let's not bury the lead here, though. How's that center battle?
Yeah, I mean, not much of a battle. I was going to get to that in a second. Not much of a battle. Yeah, talk about it being between David Beard and Mark Corte. I mean, I think we have our answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the other thing with Mark is,
what is it? So, he's getting beat? Is he looking small? Yeah, not strong?
First of all, he's not a natural center. So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. Like he is kind of a natural guard, even if he is a little undersized at the guard. But yeah, like in one-on-ones, he was just getting, like he wasn't having a good time.
Really?
He was not having a good time. Like he was getting beaten. It's not like he wasn't getting beat by, Jared Brinkman or like, Jordan Williams. Like we're going a little a little deeper on the depth chart for guys who are kind of
just getting walked back.
He was just getting like swam on.
Yeah.
He was getting he would get walked like a step, then he would just get like swam on.
Yeah.
And the recovery wasn't really there. It didn't look great. Like I don't want to I don't want to be too harsh. Yeah. I don't want to be too harsh cuz like I don't know if he's got like some crazy like shoulder injury that hasn't been reported. I don't know if he's got some crazy like ankle issues
or something.
Yeah, and like there are some practices where it's like, hey, I'm injured, but I'm still going to go out there, and it's like it's not going to be the best. I'm just going to have to everyone's just gonna have to live with that and accept that. But it hasn't looked great. Like it's.
Wonder if his confidence is down too. Probably.
Yeah. For sure, a little bit. And like, listen, say what you will about who the best offensive lineman was last year. Like, I think we all agree when Carter came in, it was him. But outside of Carter, like guys who were there for the full season, everyone said David Beard. I said Corte. But regardless, like Corte was top 2. He was a top 2 offensive lineman last year for this Elks team. So to see this kind of performance so far,
how's his size wise?
He's looking smaller.
Yeah,
he's looking smaller.
Kind of lean.
Yeah, it's also just, I don't know, maybe it's a comparison. Like you look like it's a pretty big offensive line. I think like obviously Jordan's very big, Carter's very big. Carter's big
humans.
Bordner's, yeah.
Even Beardo at 6'5".
Yeah, and Bordner.
Well, it looks like 6'4" is probably gonna be your smallest.
Bordner's thick. Yeah, he's looking a little bit smaller for sure. Now he does that he has the build of a center.
He has that center build. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he has the build of a center, but it just hasn't been going well for him. And the other thing is like a guard to a tackle. Those responsibilities I think differ in terms of blocking schematics more than guard to center. Now center is kind of the black sheep of the offensive line in terms of responsibilities, but like, okay, so like, let's say you're playing in like a 50 front, I don't know. It's like same as playing like a 2 insider. So like, it's just,
head up.
Yeah, it hasn't looked great, but I don't want to just sit here, spend the whole time ragging on him. It looks like David Beard has won the center battle. I will say that.
It'll be interesting to see if Marco will even be in the backup, like if it's been like that. Because, they mentioned earlier, they being management, that they're not going to cut anybody based off salary, but if you're not performing at all, and you have a big salary,
you got to walk these guys through preseason first, though. No,
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I'm not talking cut now, but I'm saying like if you have a poopy training camp and we got 2 rookies that we could have for less than your salary, those are the conversations that are had.
A few more on the offensive line. Mark Evans started some games last year in the individuals yesterday, the one-on-ones yesterday. Sorry. He was a really funny kid, like kind of strange case almost, because he had 2. Now, to be fair, I think he was going up against like Malik Carney and Robbie Smith on these 2 I watched. Don't even know if he got a hand on him. It was just over instantly. But he did rebound well, and like he had some like just night and day one-on-one reps. Like he had some where his feet were like he was beating him to the spot. Yeah. So it was interesting to see that, but it was just funny to see kind of the juxtaposition there between the 2. Anything else on the offensive line? I don't think so. Domenico Piazza, not going to be a starting offensive lineman, but I've liked what I've seen from him. I thought he moved well. Nice. I liked what I've seen from him. Over to the defensive line. So how Noah Taylor, excuse me. I don't think he was out there yesterday. The starting defensive line, now obviously defensive line is a position that rotates quite a bit. How it's worked out so far is out of a base 43, it's been Malik on one end, Robbie Smith on the other, Jordan Williams and Jared Brinkman as the 2 tackles, and that's kind of been pretty consistent. Other defensive linemen have been rotating in, like I said, like Tamari Fox has been getting a lot of reps, playing at the D tackle spot. Francis Beamy as well. Brandon Barlow has been rotating in on one of the other sides. Didn't see Noah Taylor yesterday. Was looking for him hard, just wasn't out there. I guess. Yeah, he's been rotating in as well. He's mostly getting the second team reps for sure. It does look like that. Like they have a pretty good idea of what they want their defensive line to be, with Robbie on one side, Malik on the other, Jordan Williams and Jared Brinkman. From what I've seen, I think it's probably the best arrangement of the defensive line. Malik Carney looks like an absolute stud. Like he's looked quick. He's looked youthful. He's absolutely looked as advertised. Robbie's had a really good camp as well.
That's my next question.
Yeah, and we've because we've talked about him. I think I've been the hardest on Robbie of anyone here.
I've been pretty hard too.
Yeah,
he's been looking good.
Been hard on Robbie. He's been looking really good. The tackles
for him.
I thought Jordan Williams would maybe perform a little bit better. I really liked what I saw from him when he joined the team last season. He came in. Yeah, he did. I thought he might have a bit better of a camp. It's looking like maybe a mini step back from what we saw in season. I don't know if you want to chalk that up to just not, being as engaged in training, like whatever it is. But But I just thought I was waiting for him to kind of be a game wrecker and just game changer. Obviously, it's training camp. It's not game situation, but just hasn't quite been there the way I thought it might be. Tamari Fox has looked good. I've liked what I've seen from him.
How about Jared?
Yeah, he's looked good. He's looked good. He's looked steady. I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
You know what you're gonna get with him.
He's looked steady. And the other thing I will say is, like, these tackles, like Coulter Woodmansey and Carter O'Donnell, like, those are some tough assignments. Like, it's tough to look good. Like, I'm not just saying this because we obviously cover the team. We're fans of the team, but like, when you want to talk about 2 starting guards on any team in the CFL, that's right. That's
a
what
good
I'm
thing,
saying.
right? You're going through 2 of the best, and during practice, when you get out to the game, it's going to even easier.
So like Jordan and Jared might go out there and just torch some of these guards across the league. And my thing is, like, I think we're being, fair and respectful here when we're saying Jordan Williams and Jared Brinkman probably aren't the 2 best defensive tackles in the CFL. Coulter and Carter O'Donnell might be the 2 best guards in the CFL, right? So for them to not, pop in practice against those guys, it's like, well,
it's very valid.
I probably wouldn't pop running one-on-ones versus Eddie Steele. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how it works. So
get popped.
Yeah. I'd pancake you.
Did you talk about the kid we just signed the other day who came off the suspension last year?
Darian Newell. Was just about to bring him up. Thank you for that, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't really seen much from him. Okay. No.
Like, standing out wise, or he hasn't had an opportunity?
Yeah, like standing out wise. He's got good size. I know they really like him. He's rotating in, but
nothing yet.
This might be a better question for Eddie, though. If you had a whole year off, what are you expecting to be this early into camp, coming off a whole year off as a rookie too, right? So you didn't have any experience under his belt, really.
He doesn't
as
know
a rookie, you need playing time your first year out of school.
Yeah, that's true, Rick.
So where we sit, like,
getting to learn the speed of it, and
because this is what he should have been doing last year.
Exactly.
This time.
Yeah, he should have a year under his belt. The physical side of it, you're fresh as a daisy, you're strong because you've been training, you're fast, you're in shape, all that stuff. But yeah, the football side of it, you're going to be behind. Now, if you're smart, you would have been, hey, coach, hint, wink, wink, let me get that playbook. So you're hitting the ground running, right? When you're suspended, I don't know how much contact you can truly have with the organization, but I have in good faith the thought that they would slide him a playbook and familiarize him at least with what they're doing in concepts. So this is more or less just getting caught up and familiarized with a pro speed, pro game practice, shaking the rust off of actually playing football. Physically, like you say, Deck, it looks good, looks the part. Yeah, it's probably got to get caught up.
When do you think we'd start to see kind of what you want to see out of him?
First preseason game is everything, man. Once you put it on tape against opponents.
That should be 8 days from now, I believe.
First preseason game, that's going to be everything for all these cats who are just, like you say, not popping, just there kind of. Once you see it against an opponent on tape, how are you hustling? How are you digesting the information and then going out and making a football play? That's what really separates the men from
you see him getting a larger role in that first game then? Because they really want to know what it is, because you may have a diamond in the rough here and you really would like to know.
Absolutely. This is another thing too, just along this vein that Greg's brought up. It was on his show, I think, yesterday, just how a lot of guys are going to be playing in both preseason games just because they've had slow starts the past 3-4 seasons. They don't want to have that rust at the beginning of the year. So the vets, guys, you're going to be playing in both games.
So when you say that, then don't you think that a rookie then might get glossed over a little bit because you want your starters to be ready to go, because exactly what you just said?
No, why I say that actually is for Cat in Newell's position would be like, if there is high promise for you, get ready to get these reps and get in rotation. The defensive tackles, usually there'd be 3 of you rotating during a game. So get ready to be in this rotation and play, man, because these reps on tape matter.
All right. And with that, we're going to take a quick break while I run to the bathroom. Be back in a sec. All right, and we are back. Magic of audio technology. Linebacking course. So how the arrangement had been Joel at the Will, Nick at the Mac. Kenny started at the Sam. He had recently switched with Chalin, who had been playing safety. I think Chalin's a better Sam and Kenny's a better safety. they've kind of flip-flopped to a few different times. Chalen playing there most recently, Kenny playing more of the reps. Joel is pretty locked into the will. Like, you want to talk about a guy who's got his spot down, feels like Joel at the will. Mm-hmm. There had been a lot of talk about that battle for the Mac linebacker position between Nick Anderson and Brock Mogensen, and I like Brock a lot. I thought he had a great last season. Nick Anderson is the guy. Yeah, like, you know, sometimes there's just a talent gap, right? Like, sometimes, like, you watch Nick Anderson and you're like, oh yeah, that's why you're most outstanding rookie.
No doubt.
It's like, yo, there was a reason for that. Hey,
and Brock was up because Nick was hurt, so you never got to see the comparable.
Yeah, and now what I will say about Brock is, like, this is a guy who, one of my notes I had was he was practicing like he wants it. And was he ever? Like, even in just like little bump and shove drills, like, he's really giving it everything. Like, he's a football guy, man. Like, he wants to play, he wants to be out there. But it's just, you know, man, like, I would like to be starting point guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I'm not as good as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, so they're gonna go with him. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Not a knock on Brock. I do feel bad for him. I would love to see him him get some more looks at the will, actually, and see how he kind of plays that position. Because I think Joel is very locked into the will. I love Joel. He was obviously most outstanding Canadian nominee this past year. Great player, but Nick really does kind of feel just a cut above at that Mac position. Like, he's just
in Brock's repping in with the twos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like firmly. Like, we're not even really giving him first team looks. And I like Brock like a lot. Like, I think Brock, or like maybe he's getting few and far between. Like, I like Brock a lot. I like Brock's game. I thought he was one of the better players on the defense when he came in, and I thought he did a lot of things well. Like, I thought he dropped in coverage pretty well. Nick's, that's never been his thing. Like, he's always been, you know, just kind of a go, play in the box, go plug up the A gap kind of guy. But he is, hey, newsflash, spoiler alert, he's a very good linebacker. Yeah. Turns out that hardware was for something. So, yeah. Benjamin Sangmoa, I think he was their second draft pick taken out of UBC, plays Sam D half. He'd been working in at the Sam. He's got great length, really good football instincts. There's some things that need to get shored up for him. Just like, I mean, this is your first professional training camp and you played at UBC. Like, obviously there are some things kinks that need to get worked out, but you can tell he's got really good instinct. He's got really good length. I like him more at the Sam than I do playing D half. Mm-hmm. We'll get to the halfbacks in a second here when we talk about the secondary. But yeah, liked what I've seen from him. Really good, like, raw and natural talent. Like, because I don't want to say I questioned the draft pick a little bit, but I was like, I guess you could say I questioned it just because I was like, we're not going offensive line? Like, really, like, the DB core seems pretty set
with, like, that size. And
and he's,
you can have that length at Sam and have him around the box. And once you get coached up too, I think back, you talk about him coming out of UBC. I'm coming out of U of M back in 2010. U Sport, and man, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to pass rush or anything, but clearly these coaches see something. And if you give them some pro coaching, boy, you never know what can happen with these kids.
They have him playing at linebacker?
Yeah.
Because he's listed as DB.
Yeah, he's listed. He's worked in a little bit as well as the D half, but he's been playing a lot of the Sam. And I think he's fit for the position. Like, the Sam almost is a 6 DB.
So it's a cover linebacker.
It's just... Yeah, it's unique. Like, it's not so much a cover linebacker.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to cover guys, not just running backs, but actual receivers. Mm-hmm. But then you have to also have the ability to roam into the box and play as a linebacker in the box.
Yeah.
So it's not so much a cover line. It's such a weird
hybrid. Is he normally going to play on passing downs then?
Well, the thing is, like, they don't really, in the CFL, teams don't really rotate out person. They don't really do that. So, like, when he's playing Sam, like, he's just, whether it's 2nd and 1,
and that's where it's such a hybrid, because 2nd and 1, you're in the box now. But then in a passing situation, you're spread out and you could be covering a slot receiver.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to be like you've said this. I remember you saying this, that the Sam is the toughest position on the defense to play. And that's why, like, you obviously want a guy who has, like, great, you know, football IQ and can understand the nuances of the position. He's very raw in that sense, but the talent is certainly there. Liked what I've seen from him a lot.
If you have a good Sam in the CFL, any team, many of the 9 teams, it affords you so much ability to hide, to do different blitzes, to be more aggressive, just to have different exotic defensive packages as opposed to a guy who's more of, a stiffy out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And yeah, it is like, it's like you'll like your Mac and your Will both be like, 5'11", 240.
Trucks.
Be your backers.
Yeah.
Trucks.
Your Sam will be like, now obviously KJ played a lot of the Sam as well, and he's quite small, but your Sam will be like 6'1", 200 and fast kind of thing.
Isn't that
More
crazy
DB
that
size.
JC was a Mac linebacker, one defensive player of the year in the CFL at like 5'8", 200 pounds?
I know, crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Know how good you got to be?
Oh, bro. And like just thinking of when I played with him, the whole goal was to keep him clean, right?
Yeah.
So you're eating double teams so JC can flow because he's going to make those plays. But he played so much bigger than his stature. He would come in, he would knock offensive linemen out with like he would pop guys, man. It was crazy how he would play and how big he played.
Few other with the linebackers. Tiva Muaga Clements. Like what I've seen from him.
He's a good energy guy.
Yep,
good
he
teamer.
is. Good, great teamer. Yeah. Daryl Jabome. He was yesterday was his first day down there. Didn't get really like a great look at him. Good size, seems to be like a guy who's going to be a good player. It was just kind of tough to gauge yesterday.
Still fresh.
Like it was, and beyond that, it was like, I don't know. Again, like kind of bad weather. I had to leave a little bit early to get back to do radio. Like he looks like he's got a lot of raw natural talent as well, but it's tough to really give like an in-depth kind of report on him. The one I would say though is Justin Pace. He was another linebacker they drafted in this past CFL draft, maybe 5th round, 6th round. I can't remember. Liked what I saw from him a lot. He was a tackle monster. I think he had like 232 tackles in 4 seasons playing out in OUA. He looked really good. Like I don't know what his future looks like on this team, but he's a guy who you watch him and you're like, oh, there's definitely something there. Like there's definitely a player there for sure. Like like we kind of rip the tackle numbers sometimes for stats because tackles, it's a little bit like, I don't know, like save percentage maybe. Like that's probably a bad comparison.
Yeah,
but it's like someone's got to make the tackles.
Yeah,
but it's also like
it's a reflection of the team.
Yeah, and it's like a tackle does also happen at every play, and you're like a linebacker, and it's
but he's
like,
getting involved in them.
Yeah,
that's like that's something we saw at the beginning of last year. Where like,
yes,
please,
absolutely.
somebody make a goddamn tackle.
Exactly. Right.
But in 42 games when he played in college, there was 232 tackles, 132 solo, 100 assisted. So
yeah,
he's involved. He goes to the ball,
and you're absolutely right. Like I don't want to knock a guy for getting tackles because you need him nail on the head. Like this team had a pro, like
exactly
it was their biggest problem. How many weeks after games do we sit here and crucify their tackling? He gets in there and he does tackles. I don't want to knock a guy for tackling, but I do also think it's like it's never the most representative stat. I think that's fair.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, I started every game from grade 9 through 12, and I won. My overall record was 428-1.
Wow.
I won 4 games, lost 28, 1 tie. But I was the best player, so you get noticed. Yeah. So it's no different than that. I was on a terrible team, but I stood out because I was on a terrible team. That's exactly the scenario.
Yeah. Do we want to move on to the DBs? Any questions about the backers? No. All right, DBs. Yeah. So we got so there was some talk about kind of a competition for that field side halfback spot between Jalen Williams and Kobe Williams. I don't think it's much of a competition. Like I think Kobe's got that spot pretty firmly locked up. I was like kind of surprised there was even chatter about it being a conversation. I thought Kobe. Now I do think Kobe was up against it a little bit because you got Terrell, KJ, JJ Ross, who I all think are just like outstanding players. Not to sit here and constantly glaze them, but so I thought Kobe was a little underrated, but he's we have our DBs. We have our 4 DBs. We got Terrell, we got Kobe, we got KJ, and we got JJ Ross.
Starting out wide, how's JJ and Terrell looking?
JJ is just looking like the best DB in the CFL, man.
Yeah, he's looking real good.
Dude, my thing is like I've really gone all in on being a JJ Ross fan, so I had like any chance to defend him. Like any chance to defend him. But dude, he's just like. I'm like, honestly, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm shocked this guy doesn't get like NFL looks. Okay. Like he's got, if you could build a DB in a lab, the size wise, you would build JJ Ross.
Huge,
and then on top, he's like long. And then on top of that, Like he's always making plays on the ball. He's great in coverage. He's physical. Like he's got like, you know what I mean? Like it gets to a point, and like JJ might watch this like clip and be like, all right, man, like that's enough. Like it's getting a little weird now. But it gets to a point where I'm almost like, am I missing something here? Because I just think he's a phenomenal player. So yeah, he's looked great. Terrell, like I said, he looks like he's the highest paid DB in the league, who's one of the most proven DBs in the league in terms of some.
So the effort might not always be there for Terrell and like Indian stuff, but he at the end of the day in one-on-ones and stuff, is he locking it down?
No, I would say like, but it's not. But it's not like he's like getting beat and it's looking bad. Like it's just. I just think he's so good. He's so skilled. Yeah, and I don't like. I feel.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. I thought like when you're messing around and stuff, like you're out there killing it.
No, like no. And again, like I maybe like Terrell might come back and like pull up the film on his phone and be like, did you miss all this? And like maybe I did, man. Like I don't. And I think he is the best field corner in the CFL.
We both agree.
Yeah, so I'm not knocking him in the slightest, but I'm just saying like. You know, my team captain, my grade 12 year, shout out Jake Schimpf. He was our best player, one team MVP, played safety and wideout for us. I don't think I ever saw a guy put less effort into spring ball, into training camp. Now, I'm not trying to compare the 2015 Austin O'Brien Crusaders to a CFL team, but I'm just saying, like, it's you have.
That's interesting. This doesn't even need to be part of the podcast. We can clip this, but it's like it's no different than the same work ethic we've heard about Trey Ford.
Yeah,
like both those guys just don't have that work ethic.
But
that's no different than we heard about Trey. Like, just you don't got that work ethic to get better.
No, but dude,
Terrell's a beast though.
For me, yeah, dude, it's not like a work ethic thing. Like, because I think if like the coaches sat him down and said we need more, he would do it. Like, I don't think it's a work ethic thing. I really, really think just watching him, I really, really think it's just like he knows I'm the best. Yeah. So. I'm not going to break too hard on this to snap an ACL. I'm not going to really, like, you don't really wrap up anyway. And, you know, it's just kind of touch tackles.
Does Connor approach practice like that?
McDavid?
So this is interesting to me because I think that DBs and wide receivers are a different mentality than the position you played, right, Eddie? To me, those guys would be like, practice is practice, but game time is game time. It's kind of like AI.
Yeah.
You know, when I know I'm good. When the clock is on, I'm going to be there. And then during camp this early, like we still have 3 weeks of camp to go. So I think you just kind of ramp it up. I think it's just really early for a guy like this. Like this is not his time to shine.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, but that's a different mentality where you come from.
Yeah, it is.
You come from the trenches.
Yeah, but I'm even just thinking like when I played, like Aaron Grimes, his DB coach.
That's
like,
what I was going to ask you. Did you have some of those guys?
No, they weren't like that, man. It was work, man. It was like this was personal, you know. So it's just
and dude, like maybe I've sold it in a way that's being too hard on him, but. Because I don't want to act like he's not.
Look, Deck, I get the indie periods and stuff. Look, you can be chill, not working hard. Not everybody's going to be like me. I wasn't as talented as him. That's why I had to work harder. That's for sure the truth. There's no denying that. But with that, you can not be serious here. But boy, one-on-ones, you better be locking it up. Team periods, you better be, showing out on film.
So on one-on-ones, are the receivers making the catches on them?
Yep. But dude, it's like it's such a thing. Like him going 15%.
Yeah,
and the receivers going 100%.
If he went full, it'd be better. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, like him go. That's what I'm saying. Like him going. Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens in game time.
Totally, and he's proven in game time.
Yeah,
turn it on.
Yeah.
So like, I get it.
This is not like I'm not like dude. Like even him going at 15%. You watch him and you're like.
He's fine.
You watch when you're like, that's the most talented player.
And for all we know, the staff even could say, just get through camp healthy, man. We don't care if you make any plays in camp. Get through camp healthy.
And that's probably a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. There's whispers of that too. Yeah. I just always look at it from the lens of, how I had to work because I was never that talented. And even when I played with guys who were like a Darius Bowman at receiver and stuff, these guys, they still always put that work in. You know what I mean? But he's built differently.
This
man.
early in camp?
He's built. Oh yeah. You
Yeah,
put
yeah.
the work. Man, we had Chris Jones as the head coach, man. If you didn't put the
Yeah.
work in, like if you weren't serious about it, like dinner on Delta.
Yeah. A couple other DBs. Therese Reed. Got a chance to talk to him after Tuesday's practice. Loved what I've seen from this dude. He has shades. Now he's small again. What's he listed at actually, Rick? Do you mind pulling that up?
Who are we looking at?
Therese Reed.
All right, give me a sec here.
Because I'll tell you. But
5'10", 187.
That's closer. It's probably about like 5'9", 180 again. That's closer. But my thing was, this guy, he has shades, not size wise, but he has shades of a guy like JJ or Kenny Logan, who like they had to start last year on the practice squad. They had to wait for some cuts, some injuries to kind of come up, get their shot, and then popped. Therese Reed has shades of that. Like this guy, you want to talk about a guy who is just locking everyone up in one-on-ones. You want to talk about a guy white on rice in his coverage. He has I always think it is such an underrated aspect of DBs, how they stick with balls. Like to me, there's always been such an element of like when the receiver makes a catch, you automatically go into like, I got to make the tackle now. But I've always really appreciated and loved the DB who after the receiver makes the catch, sticks with the ball, gets a hand on there, bats it out, doesn't let him make the football move, doesn't let the completion come to fruition. And he is that guy, like constantly getting hands on balls. Great in coverage, great feet, great hips, like really, really, really impressive stuff. Like he was signed. So this was crazy. He was signed on May 8th. So he signed on May 8th, took a flight on May 9th to get up here for training camp on the 10th. And he's just like, I think he's really shown out. Like he has got, like, I'm really, really impressed because there are kind of different levels. Like I think Terrell, like his ability to just like undercut everybody and like get them to drop the ball is second to none. Like we've talked about, some other guys, like whatever, their coverage ability is like Teresa's ability to just always know where the football is and make a play on it, I think has been really, really impressive. Another guy I've liked, Ladarius Tennyson. He's a guy who just like he'll go up there and he will like pop you and he'll tackle you. He had one play. It was against Isaiah Knight. He must have been playing half. He came up on like a blitz and just popped Isaiah Knight in the backfield. Now, Isaiah kind of bounced off him a little bit, but my thing was like, this is a guy, you have some guys who are going through the motions in training camp, and you got a guy in Ladarius Tennyson he is going to come 100 miles an hour into the backfield and pop the running back. So his willingness I got a chance to talk to him as well. He had mentioned that like he loves to be physical, loves to tackle, which was a problem with the DBs last year. Now it rectified itself as some of the personnel change.
There was buy-in,
but he like for a group that started last year with such an unwillingness to tackle, he loves to get in there, loves to tackle. Really, really liked what I've seen from him. Just want to see who else here. Yeah, Chalin and Kenny have been rotating at the safety spot. Obviously, no Royce on the field. I just think Kenny's so much better suited for safety, and Chalin's so much better suited for Sam. Like, I'm not a CFL head coach as much as I try and pitch Coach Killam on being one. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I can make better decisions than they can. But sometimes I do scratch my head a little bit about why they're so. Now, I also will say this about Kenny Logan. He's put on some size, I think. He's looking bigger and stronger. He's looking a lot thicker, looking bigger and stronger. But I just think he's way better suited as a safety. I mean, I don't think he's a bad Sam. Same way I don't think Chalin's a bad safety. I just think they're better suited when they're swapped. So, we'll see what happens. I think that's kind of it on the DBs. Anyone else here? No, I don't think so. Just going down the roster, making sure I didn't forget anybody. Yeah, no, I think we're good there. But yeah, Ladarius Tennyson, Therese Reed. Now, listen, if those guys or Justin McGriff or Jalen Calhoun, if any of those guys get cut, I'm gonna look pretty bad. But it is what it is. So I think that's it.
Dex, shoot your shot.
I think that's it. Yeah. I think that's it for them. Vincent Blanchard making all of his field goals. Making all of his field goals.
His leg. I like his leg.
Now they're not having him kick 60-yarders, but he's making his field goals. Jake Julian, kind of a weird one. Remember how like last season we would sit there and say, yeah. He's looking like he's actually taking a bit of a step back. Ooh. But I don't know, man. You're punting in camp. Like it's conditions, yes. Like man, I'm not gonna
specialists got it so easy in camp.
Dude, him and the long snapper. I just want to make sure.
Who is their long snapper?
Killam said he thought he was the best long snapper in the CFL, which is huge. I thought they had
Luke Burton Cron.
Yeah. Those two just what a
Chilling.
life. What
Big
a
chilling.
life. They're hanging out, bro. They're playing.
They're big chilling games. They're trying to kick the ball and hit the uprights. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they're just
they're
having.
chilling.
They're just having
That's
a blast.
when you
man.
even see them out on the field.
No,
I guess it's different because they're at Clark this whole go around for camp. But usually, like they would just mosey on up the stairs into the locker room at the back there, and they're gone.
They're in their own world.
Yeah, they really are, man.
Yeah, but it's awesome to see. It's like makes me jealous.
Well, the thing is, when it's time to do your job, you got to do it, or else it's all on you.
Yep.
Win or lose.
And I will say, like, long snapper, like you want to talk about positions that don't get glory. Like offensive lineman gets brought up a lot. No one cares about the long snapper.
Nobody cares about a long
No one
snapper.
cares.
They're less than a kicker.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But to give Luke credit, looks everything's getting there. Like those snaps.
So does he play anything else? Does he spell? I guess he can't really
Usually
play
they're a
special teams. Can he?
linebacker.
He's a linebacker
be an
by like
ex-linebacker.
trade. Yeah, but he's
How far down the list?
Oh, you're
The
not
bottom?
playing. Yeah, because you're not even
Because they don't want. Yeah, they don't
You're
want
not
to injure you.
no,
with
he's
them.
no. He borderline has a different jersey on.
Yeah,
It's like
And
it's
you're
like
a linebacker by trade because you're playing special still. So you snap it and then you'll go down and try and make some tackles in a game.
Yeah.
So you have to have that aggressiveness.
Yeah, you got to fly down there and make tackles.
Every
but-
every long snapper I've played with is an ex-linebacker.
Yep.
Everyone.
Yep.
On every team. Every team.
Yeah.
They just get tired of getting hit. They're like, this sucks. I'm going to just figure out this snap.
Usually how it works is they realize that they're not good enough. They reach a point they're not good enough to play linebacker and stick. And they figure this out, and that's how they stick.
Because to be fair, long snapping, like it's tough. You have to hold the ball a certain way,
and
it's
it's not just like this and getting it back.
No, you have to like hold it under.
Coaches
you and, like,
are timing it
fly
with stopwatches. It needs to be back there, and I want to say 0.7, like because it's all about timing.
Yep.
And you have to put it in some areas. And actually, it's quite something. Sometimes I'll be the long snapper, and the punter will be standing like 2 or 3 yards off. He'll be 15 back. But then he'll be off to the side, so you're snapping it at angles. So it's more than just.
It's tough to do.
It is very hard to do.
Tough to do.
But boy, they're stealing sometimes. And I love you, Ryan King.
Overall, just to kind of wrap it up here, thought camps look good. I thought the intensities look good. I think a lot of guys look good. Like there are a few players who you look at and you're like, I don't know, is this the end of the road for you this season type thing? But that's going to be any training camp in the CFL. Absolutely. That's going to be any training camp in sports. So overall, it's so good. The one thing I would say, and this is just like a personal thing, I would like to see a little bit. I just want to see the last page of the playbook, like the last page of the offensive playbook.
A little more,
I want to see what that looks like.
A little more interesting plays is what you're saying?
Yeah, like the plays are, I would say, a little vanilla, but that's not like I'm not even knocking it like that. I just want to see like everyone's got a last page of the playbook where you're doing
what's on the last page. Is that this tricky
some
stuff?
Gimmicks.
Yeah.
Isn't that when you practice when no one's around? Otherwise, it ends up on a show like this.
I'm always around.
Mini Mark strikes again.
He's been dropping little GoPros in there everywhere.
That's the thing. Like, I would never actually give up the schematics of what that looks like, but I just want to see them kind of run through it. Which
the
like, and
football
that's
loving
just
you.
like, yeah, I guess. And that's just a total personal.
The only
thing.
defense of that is in training camp with guys that you're going to be cutting.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
there's no.
You're just trying to learn
yeah.
simple X's and O's. It's not even a matter of hiding your place. It's just these guys will never comprehend that. They're trying to figure out the waggle, the timing, what route am I running. They have no time to worry about.
When do you start working on those?
plays.
Week one?
Yeah, going into the
After
season.
last
Once
cuts
you have
type
your
of thing?
roster set,
Yeah.
usually.
There'll be guys like Cody will know, and
Yeah,
like Austin Mack will
exactly.
know. and,
Exactly.
like, right. Yeah. Okay. I think we did a pretty good job breaking it all down.
Great
We'll
job,
be
Dave.
back on Monday, probably more of a camp breakdown and obviously kind of some other things akin to the regular Elks 101 show. But this has been a lot of fun. Love doing it. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We appreciate you. I think that's what I was trying to say. Follow us on social media, all that good stuff. Tell your friends. Maybe don't tell Spec what I said off the top of the episode, but other than that, it's been good. And we will talk to you on Monday. Love you guys.